Hello, and welcome to my dungeon. I'm your host, ThatCreepyReading, and today I plan on starting a new series that I'm hoping to expand upon in future installments. Today, we're going to be exploring what the hell happened in the first season of Sunny Family Cult. If you have not seen the series, then expect spoilers to be ahead, as this is a full recap of the first season of Sunny Family Cult. Sit back, relax, turn down the lights, and welcome to my dungeon. We got the Sunny Family Cult. Sunny Family Cult begins in a normal suburban neighborhood in a not at all spooky house where a couple, Karen and Elias, walk out the front door. Quickly, they're followed by their 9-year-old daughter, Taylor. She, of course, is unhappy that she must be left alone for Aunt Sharon and Uncle Raymond while her parents go on a date. Karen reassures their daughter someday will be able to go on plenty of dates just like this one, to which Taylor begrudgingly accepts. Driving down this road, Karen and Elias nearly hit a man standing in the middle of the road. The man looks to be under the influence of some type of drug, judging by his slurred movement and delayed reaction time. The couple offer him a ride. After the man did not answer Elias's questions about where he was going, Karen told him that his family must miss him. The man asked Elias to pull over so he can use the bathroom, and the company obliged. When the man is doing his business, Karen and Elias pull out some masks that look like a mix between the Purge and the Strangers. Up until this point, the horrifying music playing in the background and the tension has been leading us to believe that this drunken man was going to be our villain of the story. But instead, we're going to be taking perspective from the Sunny Family Cult. The couple decides that they need a gratuitous leg wound, and they do as well to give him one before the screen goes to black. At home, Taylor doesn't go to bed like she's supposed to, and instead hears Sharon and Raymond inviting guests over. She tries to argue about this, but is ushered back into bed by Raymond. Soon, Taylor's parents return home with their new friend and drag him into the room where the others have gone, under the assumption that the daughter was asleep. Taylor follows close behind and peeks through the door left carelessly open. Inside the room, Taylor has her first exposure to the Sunny Family Cult, watching the initiation for a new member, which requires a blood sacrifice from the man that was captured earlier. Fun, right? The father, Elias, is the leader of this cult, and he gives a speech about the importance of their carefully selected family and the importance of each member contributing. The new member slits the man's throat and is carefully selected to join the Sunny Family Cult. Just as this happens, Taylor gasps and reveals herself to the other members. Taylor locks herself in the bathroom and her parents rush after her. After some pleading, Taylor lets her mother in, but is noticeably shaken by the ordeal. For, obvious reasons. Karen softly caresses her daughter's cheek with the bloody hand and reassures her that this family is full of people who just want to protect and love her, and that the cult just gets rid of bad people. Karen tells Taylor that she must keep this a secret, and Taylor nods in understanding before Karen embraces her. When Taylor is 12 years old, she is now very eager to participate in the cult's activities, but her parents constantly tell her that she's not ready for it. Behind closed doors and spied on by Taylor once again through an air vent, Karen and Elias debate on fully indoctrinating Taylor. Elias wants to do so, but Karen claims that she's just a child. They also discuss the recent events surrounding a copycat killer who's posing as the cult and recently had killed a child, something that the Sunny Family Cult greatly opposes. Taylor sneaks out into the night with her own secret stash of cult gear and weapons, determined to prove her worth to her parents. She goes to the copycat killer's house and pretends to be a locked out girl who needs to use the phone to call her parents. And the killer lets her inside. When the parents don't pick up, the killer talks to Taylor about the child who was recently murdered and how the police still don't know who did it. Before the killer can catch Taylor in his trap, the doorbell rings a second time. This time, Elias and another cult member are at the door with both their masks on. Elias berates the killer for being a coward who is wrong for thinking the cult would ever kill children. Taylor momentarily wears her own cult mask before Elias gives the guy a wicked, I'll move on, before Taylor laughs. Outside the home, Elias scolds Taylor for putting herself in danger without his permission. He reminds her that he is in fact the cult leader and one that should not be questioned, and that she is not allowed to act on her own, or change the plan without his word. Taylor hesitates before following her dad into the night, and a paper with the cult symbol written on blood taped to the door. At age 16, Taylor appears to have a new boyfriend, another teenager named Hal. Hal convinces Taylor to sneak into someone's backyard pool when the owners appear to be out for the night. They swim lovingly for a while and sit by the pool. Afterwards, with their feet in the water to relax, Taylor quickly wishes that things were different and that she was sick of following everybody's rules, which is, in her case, Elias's cult. Hal reassures her that it won't be the same if she was someone else, and Taylor agrees that him being there is good too. Before the two can share a kiss, a light in the house turns on, and Taylor and Hal run into a nearby tool shed to hide. This turns out to be a trap as several cult members emerge from the darkness, including Elias, and Taylor brandishes a knife. Hal begs Taylor to spare his life and not betray the love that he thought that they had. Taylor hesitates too long. A possible moment of remorse caresses her before Elias reprimands her once again before stabbing Hal once. He urges Taylor to finish him off, but Taylor can't do it yet again as he drops the knife and runs out of the shed. Taylor is given a talking to by her father yet again, who reminds her that this was supposed to be her formal initiation and that she was supposed to be over with being a teenager by now. Elias also says that he decides who she is to be a completely devoted adult cult member. Taylor promises that she'll do it better, and after the last thing holding her back was now gone, she calls up several of her other friends to come over to her house. Taylor's night begins with the group recalling an urban legend of the Sonny family cult that's been around the town for decades. It began as early as 1982 and begun with a paper airplane with a cult symbol with the words April Fools written on it, being thrown at a man's feet as he was stepping out of the bathroom for a break. Similar to the man killed years later when Taylor was 9, a couple with the same cult masks used for the years to come, then they walk out on the night together hand in hand. The group of friends then play Truth or Dare, and the first round is Taylor, and she is dared to play 7 Minutes in Heaven with another man named Aaron, who is genuinely interested in her. Taylor agrees, but once they get inside the closet, as it turns out, she's really in the kinky shit. The other 2 teenagers are alerted by Aaron's screams, and Taylor emerges from the closet soaked in blood with Aaron's body behind her, smiling genuinely like she just heard the funniest joke in the world. Ah, what a yandere. The lights now shut off for a few moments, and when they returned, another girl named Jessie is found lying on the ground with her throat slit, with the killer nowhere in sight, leaving only a brunette boy and a blonde guy. The blonde dude finds a paper airplane by his feet, which has the same cult symbol used in the flashback, and left on the copycat killer's door. Taylor is now in front of the 2 with her cult mask on as they look at the paper. She then stabs a blonde boy several times as his guts fall out. Taylor corners the last remaining boy, and the boy pleads similarly to how Hal pleaded earlier, only this time Taylor isn't moved by his words. Taylor offers to spare his life if he joins her family, using his attraction to her against him. But he refuses and just wants to go to the police. Disappointed, Taylor just kinda stabs the guy. After the deed is done, the 2 other cult members come downstairs and scold Taylor for stabbing and not strangling, but in a much more lighthearted and playful tone than when Elias would do so previously. They tell her that she's now a real member of the Sonny family cult and they get all close to one another and take a family portrait in front of all the bloody corpses. And that concludes Season 1 of the Sunny Family Cult. Before I go into themes and motifs, I would like to let you know that this video is sponsored by Crypt.tv, and if you would like to see Season 2 of the Sunny Family Cult, now knowing this bit of information, you can find it linked in the description down below as well as pinned to the comment section. So, enjoy. Themes, motifs, and etc. A major motif of the series is the importance of family, even if it's portrayed in a horrific cult sort of way. The Sunny family works as one unit, and they never question or stray out of line, oftentimes using pack tactics in order to corner their prey. However, the cult is all about Elias and whatever he wants, which is the case for many cults in real life and fiction. Taylor doesn't decide who she is and what she does, Elias does. It's Elias' cult, and he reigns as the patriarch over his own private army, which can be indicative of an underlying narcissism complex. The cult also appears to slip from its own morality of only killing bad people as Taylor grows older. The first two victims, the hitchhiked man and the copycat killer, are both shown to have done something wrong, or at least in a Saul-like way have wasted their own lives with petty things like drugs and going down the wrong path in life, as indicated by both having extended shots at their bloody knuckles. Their wrongdoings can also be implied by the hitchhiker's slurred speech and the fact that he pulled a knife on Karen before she attacks, and a copycat killer for killing children under the Sunny family cult's name. By the time Taylor is a teenager, the cult allowed her to kill innocent teenagers as a part of a sadistic initiation for her. The bloody knuckle motif isn't seen in all the other kids, implying that these kids haven't necessarily done anything wrong other than be mildly annoying and poorly acted. This raises the question of whether Karen had lied to Taylor when she was about 9, about only killing bad people, just to make her feel better. Also, it's also a possibility that what they define as a bad person could be anyone who doesn't follow a certain set of beliefs, as most teenagers tend to be rebellious towards old and traditional values. Considering that the head of the Sunny family cult is a patriarch, a very old world structure, it's very possible that those who don't follow those same beliefs could also be a part of the bad people. It was seen years before Taylor killed her friends, so it's possible that Elias shifted the cult's morals standing during its time. Taylor being the main character is also the point of interest for the series. From every young age, Taylor has displayed signs of psychopathy even before learning about the cult, and these tendencies got worse as she grew up and the indoctrination into the cult worsened. She was emotionless when watching a violent horror movie, something that would only get some kind of reaction out of a child. As she got older, her true nature began to show, a lack of remorse and deep emotional attachments beyond loyalty to the cult, manipulativeness, and general recklessness, especially when she was 12. They're all telltale signs of psychopathy. The only time Taylor displayed any sort of emotional attachment to something was when she was unable to kill Hal, though once he was dead, she lost all emotional resonance with the world around her as she gave herself fully to the cult. This characterization does raise the interesting question though, would Taylor be still driven to murder those she deems bad if the cult had never existed and lived with a normal family? Though this is pure speculation, and the fact of the matter is, Taylor is extremely devoted to her family and the cult, and shows no fear of murdering to serve it. By the end of the series, her individualism is gone. There's no more Taylor the individual, but Taylor the cult member. Taylor's transformation into the cult member is also foreshadowed in one of the first scenes of the series, where Karen tells her that someday she'd be going on dates just like the one that she and Elias went on to search for a sacrificed victim. Also, you may notice that when Karen is reassuring her 9-year-old daughter, she has the bloody knuckle motif, indicating that she is also kind of a bad person. This one line of foreshadowing Taylor's final date with Hal, where she's planned to murder him, as well as when Taylor tricked Aaron into playing 7 Minutes in Heaven with her, only to murder him, is absolutely brilliant. On a lesser note, it also can be questioned if Taylor's parents, Elias and Karen, are actually her blood parents. It appears that the cult adds to the family by initiating new members. It does not exactly consider genetic lineage to be a factor in this. Aunt Sharon and Uncle Raymond likely aren't even related to Karen and Ellis, and the titles arise from the cult's guise as a family. It's quite possible that Taylor is a part of the cult's practicing of grooming a new member from the crib to the formal initiation, and that her parents were just a lucky couple chosen for the task, or perhaps Elias, being the patriarch of the cult, wanted to be the first to indoctrinate, as if to show dominance over the other members. Any woman could have been used for this task. They could have killed her parents and then taken Taylor when she was only a child. Evidence can be also inferred from the new couple that greet Taylor after she murders the other kids, and they take a family portrait together and act like they've known each other her whole life. Karen is also nowhere to be seen by this time. Taylor is 16, implying that Elias may have taken her out of the picture permanently, and she is one who opposes the ideas of indoctrinating Taylor early. While it is unfortunate, Sunny Family Cult does portray the cult mentality perfectly, and how it breaks down a person's spirit and emotional well-being to be a loyal servant to the cause. In a realistic way, in fact. One of the most notable real-life examples that is similar to the fictional cult is the Manson family cult. They both have patriarchal leaders, Manson and Elias respectively, who are aimed completely at controlling the actions of the other cult members, while under the guise that they were a loving family who needed to get rid of the world's impurities through unfortunate bloodshed. They both act like they're doing the right thing, but ultimately they're both just cowards who use this as an excuse to murder innocent people, if only to feed their psychopathic natures. Well, it looks like you made it to the end of the video. I really appreciate you guys watching, listening, and let me know feedback about the new series. I'm quite sick, and that's why the audio of this may not sound absolutely the best, but that being said, it should be better by the next video, which is Insane Christian Films for Kids. Oh boy, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Regardless, if you guys decide to donate to me on Patreon now, you'll be invited to a weekly rabbit stream where you can watch horror movies and other insane fun things that I may have planned. So please, sit back, relax, consider donating on Patreon, and also follow me on Twitter and all other social media. I'm gonna let the end card play out now.